such a nice weekend with the kids. Like Saturday night when I took him to the coffee shop, David just laid on a couch, like listened to music or did whatever he did. Didn't really engage, but he behaved. So overall, there's an incident in the end of the night, and then Serenity, like so my friend Nikisha performed, and it's like she does poetry and sings. I played it Saturday. It's just beautiful. Like it's so raw and powerful. Her song and her poetry. So before we went, Serenity was excited to hear Nikisha's poetry. She's like, she has such beautiful poetry. I should tell Nikisha that. But this other band plays they're from Kalamazoo, Last Gasp, and we've seen them at a house party once, Serenity and I, over the summer, and we like them. I like them, she likes them. So while they were playing, I was standing up, and Serenity stood with me and danced like all night. So it was great. Like, she was just so happy, like, to be around my friends, like, because she's like knows all of them now. And she's starting. I can see, like before we left, she went to find Nikisha to make sure she could hug her goodbye. So it was a nice night with the two of them. David did dump water on her in front of everyone, and so that sucked. But really, they both, like, they were fighting over it. Kids do stuff, so that's okay. And then yesterday was her birthday party, and she was just so happy and giggling. And then at the end of the birthday party, one of her friends, their parents asked if she could go to church with them, and I said yes. And she's like, "Thank you so much!" Like, she was totally like, yeah. So it was beautiful to see all the joy from her. The only yuck was that her sister did come, and that was awesome. She said that it made her really happy that her sister came, and her sister's an adult. But her grandma and her dad and her uncle and like all the other people she invited did not come, and so that's disappointing. Like, this is I asked her how she wanted to celebrate her birthday, and this is what she said she wanted to do to celebrate her birthday, and her family didn't show up. And her grandma said things like, well, her birthday's not even till the 15th, so we'll do something then. And I was like, no, you won't. It's a school night. Like, she gets off school, she does homework. You guys don't drive. Like, I'm not bringing her there. It's too much for me, and this is what she asked for. I didn't say that because I don't actually expect him to call on the 15th. I mean, maybe to say happy birthday. And I didn't talk to the dad. So this is, like, the dad just got out of prison, and so the truth is, like, being around that many people might cause anxiety for him. And so I understand that. But the grandma was like, he's got laundry and stuff around the house to do. That is not an excuse to miss your daughter's birthday party. So, and then the uncle, said he couldn't find his grandson to bring him. And he's like, let me take her to dinner with the grandson. Let me take her to dinner tonight. We're texting. I said, yeah, of course, that's cool. So then when she asked to go to the church, I was kind of like, I didn't tell her uncle wanted to take her to dinner. But I kind of almost said no, because, like, her uncle wants to take her to dinner. But I was like, yeah, she'll probably get back from church in time to go to dinner or whatever. Like, it'll just work out. Yeah, it did work out because the uncle never called back. Like, this little girl. Like, I don't know. I don't even comprehend this. Like, they love her when it's convenient for them to love her. I'm not sure they love her on their terms. Like, when it's a little kid, man, you show up. Yeah, show up for the little kid. Always. So, it's sad. I mean, luckily she had a great time, and, like, she didn't mention any of it. And I didn't say anything. I don't know if it's something I should process with her. It's like this tricky space, like, where I don't want to in any way, like, insult or demean her family in her eyes. Like, I don't want to be part of any bad conversations with her about that. And, like, I need to be there to support her processing stuff. So I might slip a note to the counselor and just let her handle it. And then I can continue to like be in a space of just supporting and loving Serenity's relationship with her family, because I'd rather be there with her. So, yeah. Now this is how you start a Monday. So I'm super in the mood for some breakfast, like some pancakes or something, a waffle. And I go to Steak and Shake because I'm like, good prices. I can sit there and do homework. Well, I'm looking and it stinks. So if that's the first, like, yeah. Second, they don't have breakfast. It is lunchtime only. So I left. And I'm checking out now the Colonial Kitchen. If this doesn't work out, I'm just going to go to school and eat my crackers. Although I'll be starving for the rest of the day. So hopefully this works out. Driving home. Hello, subscribers. I forgot my blow dryer today, so I braided my hair so that it's not as obvious that it was wet. Well, I got a text message this morning from the case manager, and it's really frustrating. Like, it's interesting to have like worked on the side where we provide services for people, and then be on the side now receiving services to see just how poorly systems are ran. Long story, Serenity was receiving counseling. The woman was horrible at scheduling. Like, at one point, she put us on her schedule, like every Friday at 2 or something. Didn't even ask me. Like, just put us on there for every single Friday. Then, another time, I found out that she'd scheduled me without telling me, or scheduled an appointment for Serenity without telling me, from Serenity's grandma, because the case manager, who was no longer on the case, was still contacting the grandma and told her about it. So, I mean, like, just inappropriate, unethical, yuck. But, like, I continue taking Serenity there because, like that's adult stuff. Like, I'll navigate that. And then I called the counselor once because I figured out that Serenity's been probably sexually violated by an adult. And so I called her, telling her that. Like, I don't know what to do about that. The counselor says to me, well, I don't know what to do about that. Called CAPS. They were extremely informative, helpful, supportive, told me what I need to do, how, what, when, why, all the information to support me now and going in the future. Also told me to make sure that the counselor at Oaklawn is one of the people that specialize in the children being sexually abused stuff. She said most of them that work with kids are, but just to double check it. So, I mean, clearly her counselor's not, because when I told her Serenity probably been abused, she said, I don't know what to do about that. So, I contact her supervisor to address that, among other things. And the supervisor repeats over and over that she's the best they have. This counselor, who doesn't know what to do about sexual abuse, isn't even licensed, can't schedule or communicate directly with an adult, is the best this agency has. I'm like, don't even, like, you're just admitting that this agency can't provide services for children, because if this is the best you have, like, this woman has failed on many levels, and that's your best. Please don't keep repeating that. She kept, it was a really frustrating conversation. She's going to look into it and staff it. With her supervisor, call me back. She calls me back, weeks later, to let me know that really this current counselor is the best they have, and they just don't know what else to do. Like, they're not going to be able to switch her. I'm like, okay, well then you're going to transfer her to a different agency, right? Like, they didn't even offer that. Like, I had to ask, like, you're going to transfer her to a different agency since your agency's not able to provide her services. And you know what? There's a lot of kids. Like, I've been part of the system, and there are a lot of kids that have experienced worse than Serenity. And this agency should be able to handle. Like, she's probably in the, world of trauma, I would say, maybe a medium. Not that it doesn't matter and still need to be addressed, but, they should have the ability to address it, because they see worse than that. And if this is the half-assed way they're addressing it. So, she goes to a different agency. It's fine. That it was not, handled. The counselor didn't deal with it. I had to actually like go to the top of the juvenile services to file a complaint. And the outcome was basically like the counselor just like, she had thoughts in her head that she said out loud that she probably shouldn't have. Instead, she should have been quiet with the client, parent, me, and talked to her supervisor about that. Although really, like, no. You're counseling traumatized kids. You should be fucking trained on how to counsel traumatized kids. How about that? How about just have trained staff that know how to do their jobs? Like, that was such, like, not an okay answer. And I'd actually, like, pulled a power card where, like, I was in charge of a bunch of stuff for collaborations, and I said, we're done. Like, this agency is incapable of providing services to juveniles, clearly. And so, like, I will not spend my agency's time in any way supporting you to get more clients when you don't have staff that can help them now. So we're done. We're out. Told the staff, like, do what you want. Here's what happened. You make your own choice. But, like, ethically, like, I cannot help this agency under any circumstances get more services when their staffing can help someone who's in the middle grade and has support at home. So the supervisor, like the head of the juvenile services, I think, like, interviewed, but really there was no outcome. Like, it's a training opportunity. That's kind of it. So that was just a really frustrating experience. Today, I'm still receiving case management services for her, where a skills trainer comes to her house and works with her on a weekly basis. I get a text message, not a phone call, a text message today that we didn't score high enough on the last assessment, the Kansas assessment, and therefore they will no longer be providing skills training services today. So we've got a kid that's diagnosed with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and today they're just going to pull one of the relationships out of her life that she's had for like the last 2 months. That woman's doing just fine. She's doing well at her job. So they're doing something right, but they're just going to end it with no closure to a traumatized child. I mean, like, I can't. Like, part of me not running CCJ anymore, like, it's processing through this kind of crap, navigating all the systems I did, especially, like, with the school systems. Like, I don't miss it. All the incapable people with power doing their jobs so poorly, like, I mean, if nothing else, you could say I clearly needed a break from the system. And I mean, I don't know what the turnout is, except, like, I now regret and feel bad for anyone that has to receive system services, because they're doing, I guess, the best they can, and it's not good enough. It is not even close to good enough, because really our systems are further traumatizing traumatized children. It's frustrating. So I'm angry today.